Good afternoon. In this video, I want to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section and social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, the watch list is pretty much the same as last week, just a couple. I think I just took off Tesla. Don't really see too much with that one right now. The put to call ratio is very, very low. I posted it on Twitter. It's currently at like 0.57 or something like that. Let me see, 0.51. It can go lower, but it's the lowest we've been since the 13th of November, which is right here. No, right here. So we had a little bit of a bounce, but yeah, this was the last time we were that low, the 15th. But we're going to end up seeing something happen this week. So put to call ratio is very, very low. A lot of people are on the call side. Good time for a rug pull after hitting 460 now on the economic calendar for the week. Let's see, the 4th, Monday, tomorrow. Don't see anything factory orders at 10. It doesn't really matter too much. Tuesday, final services PMI at 9:45. 10 a.m. we have ISM services PMI and JOLTS job opening, so that will be a big one at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Wednesday, don't really see much on Wednesday. Nope, nothing on Wednesday. Thursday, unemployment claims at 8:30. Nothing else for the rest of the day. Friday the 8th. Unemployment rate, preliminary, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations, non-farm employment change. So that's for Friday. So didn't see any Fed speakers. This might be a blackout week. Yeah, blackout week is next week is FOMC. Yeah, next week is FOMC. We got a big week next week. So next week's going to be a big week. So anyways, I don't see any bond auctions. We've been playing those. But next week, though, we have bond auctions. We have 10-year. We have 30-year. They've been big movers. So, and FOMC. Again, some big things happening next week. So this week, not much as far as economic-wise for jobs. The JOLT job openings, that's about it. VIX, really, really low underneath 12. Don't really see much going on. All the things going on in the world, plus one of our warships getting attacked in the Red Sea. That could increase conflict over in the Middle East that are already like rocky as it is. So we could end up seeing something about that. We don't know. Something is going to end up happening this week or next week. VIX, if it does get underneath 12, it probably won't stand at it more than a day. There's way too much going on for VIX to be this low. VIX is a coiled spring. The more it's compressed down, the more it's likely to have a major pop. So it's just a matter of when, not if, because it will happen. It's just a matter of when. VIX is not made to sustain being compressed at 12. It's not going to stay at 12. I mean, it's already been at 12 for at least a week. It's not going to stay at 12 for weeks or a month at a time. It does not work like that. This is probably the longest it's been compressed down here since probably back over here. Usually it gets compressed for a couple days and it has a violent pop. Then it gets compressed for a few days and it gets a violent pop. It does not stay sustained. It's not a stock. VIX measures volatility, and VIX will not stay at $12. It will pop. It's just a matter of timing it. When what will it be? What will cause the pop? There'll be some perfectly timed headline that will come out that will make VIX pop. So VIX does pop, expecting to move to 15, 16, even 20. A lot going on. We got a trend line up here at 21 and 25. So, and plus we have more like a COVID 2.0 coming out, or what? I don't think they've even given it a name yet. If they have, I haven't seen it yet. So I'm just basically going to call it COVID 2.0. Who knows if it's going to be just as bad or not? But It's already affecting China. It's already come to the States. I think New York or somewhere there was it starting to flood over there. So I don't know, but something's going to end up happening. Just a matter of what. Oops. I did not want to press SPY in there in the room. I don't know why I just did that. Okay, SPY. Like I said, SPY is up here. It's got a huge inverted head and shoulders on the weekly. At the left, the head, and the right shoulder. Everyone's talking about it right now. I see everyone looking at it. Whenever you have one of these big setups where it's very obvious, everyone's looking at it. Market makers will take advantage of that. They, if anything, they could pop it over 460 just to get people in, then flush it. That's what I'm thinking is going to end up happening. First of all, we have a huge bearish divergence going on in the hourly. Price is going up, RSI is going down. Daily RSI is over 74. It does not get over 74 that often. Last time it was at 74 was right here, above 74, and it dumped in middle Keltner channel. So it's got room to dump to 450, even gap support down here at 446. We got tons of gaps to fill under 446, under 435. Under 425, a little one right here at 418. We got big gaps. When they start cutting rates, statistically in the past 100 years, first rate cut is what is the nail in the coffin that ends up sending the market down into a spiral. So everyone is going to think this is bullish. Technically, the pattern is bullish, but we've had such a huge run too far, too fast, without having some kind of like red week. I think that they'll push us over 460. We even gap up over 460, get people excited, and then they're going to end up faking out retail, because every time there's a big obvious setup, the market makers do the exact opposite. So everyone's watching that. Everyone's looking at that. They're going to get people are going to get sucked into that, and they'll paying the price for that. So yeah, I think we have a fake out over 460, and we get fake out. So I'd watch it underneath 455. We'll push to 450, 448, 445, and then down here at the 440 area. So we'll have to see how far SPY drops and what the news will be and stuff like that. So next one is QCOM, which I looked at last week. QCOM is flagging up here. It pulled back and it's back up to higher day. You can look at both sides. It gets over 130. I could push to 132, 135, but if it gets below this 126 or even 127 area, we're going to gap to fill down here at 125, and we get gap down here at 115. I'll get gap support at 115. Likely doesn't fill that gap right away, but we get some room to drop. Weekly, I mean, every time it gets up here to the top of the Keltner channel, rejects, we're up here. It started to reject. It came back quickly on the weekly, so it is flagging. It could push, but I don't know. I'm not too excited about that one. If anything, I'd be looking at the downside on that. Roku, I got burnt from this last week, expecting it to drop. I got it right at like 100, and it didn't. It kept going. Now it's starting to show some weakness. We get some down 3 down days right here. It breaks below that 102 area. I'll probably end up grabbing puts on this one, and for a push down to 86, and then you get 80. VIX, Roku, it just does not go far. Once it pops, it gets hammered on, got hammered on. And do you think this keeps going? Maybe it does, but I don't know. I don't think it does. Plus the RSI is way above 70 still. I think it will end up getting pulled back for some reason. Market may drag it down. Who knows? Apple flagging just like QCOM, but Apple missed earnings. They slowed production. I just don't imagine it popping, but who knows? Apple is just one of those stocks where it could miss earnings. They could stop production on all their phones, and they could have massive bad articles and bad news and still find a way to pop. Apple is the stupidest company I've ever seen when it comes to earnings and news and just going against the grain. So it's flagging here. Gets over 192, probably push to 195, maybe make a 200 run. But I'd still think I'd watch it under 188 for a drop to 185, maybe even 180. This market starts pulling back. Apple should go down with it. Amazon, Amazon looking pretty good. You know, you get a head and shoulders. You get the left head and the right shoulder slightly right here. So, but we're still in the earnings season. You can see it more defined on the hourly. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder right there. So, but if we get more excitement for Christmas, more hype going in, and more good news and stuff like that, the market keeps going up. We could end up seeing a push to 150 on Amazon. So keep an eye on that. BA's crazy run. I would watch BA definitely. The RSI on the daily is at above 80. It's been rejecting the 240 area. I don't think it's going to get to 240, not based off the daily RSI. That's just really crazy. So I would watch it underneath 232, maybe even 230. Gets underneath 230, 225, 220, 215, 210. Bring it down. 220 would be a big strong support right here on the weekly. 215. And if it does break that, it could go down to 200 and 195 and come back into that range again. So had a strong push there. I was kind of not expecting that to happen. So 80 on the RSI on the daily is just absurd. I mean, I think that comes down. Disney kind of filled the gap a little bit. I would watch. Disney just doesn't get too far. It's like Roku, it pops and just gets beaten down. So maybe this time's different. I don't know. So I'd watch it on the 90, 150. If we push to 90, 88, 86, and a gap fell down here to 84 from earnings. We'll have to see if that actually ends up happening. So definitely keep an eye on Disney, Microsoft. Microsoft did pull back from the 380, so it had a nice red day right here on Wednesday. And a little bit of FU setup right there on the daily. So I'd watch it underneath the low of Friday, 371 for a push down to 370, 365, 360, 355, 350, 345, 340. The RCT trend line's way down here on the daily and the weekly. Gets too far away from it, ends up pulling back. It could take a little while, so eventually it should end up pulling back and realigning with it. It acts as a magnet, and at some point it will end up touching that. Netflix did reject the 480, like I talked about last week. Had 3 red days right here, so definitely looks good. I would keep an eye on it for more downside, even though the hourly is at 30. And the RSI's cooled down quite a bit on the daily, but I'd watch underneath 465, push to 460, 450, 440. 450 probably be the big area. We'll probably end up bouncing right here. So keep an eye on that for Netflix. So that's going to do it for the watch list, and we'll just take it day by day and news by news, and try not to look ahead too far and try to play what we have in front of us, and try not to be too one-sided and play what the chart gives us. And hopefully the market will end up pulling back this week and give us some volatility. We could use some nice volatility this week. So that's going to do it for the watch list, and thanks for watching.